Gemini Man is a movie directed by Ang Lee, and it stars Will Smith, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and Benedict Wong, Clive Owen. And this movie is pretty much a simple plot. It basically revolves around Will Smith's character, Henry Brom. He's a hitman, he is retired, and his company is trying to assassinate him by sending in a clone of himself, of Will Smith, a younger version of Will Smith, to assassinate the older version of Will Smith. And we have the movie Gemini Man. Now, I'm going to say this movie was not really good. This movie was not good because of its action sequences primarily. But the good things it got going for it was its cast. Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Benedict Wong were pretty much like the characters right along with Will Smith. And it gave the audience exposition throughout the whole entire movie. If you take those outside characters away, probably wouldn't know what the movie is about or wouldn't even know information about the movie, because most of the information of the movie revolves around them giving the audience exposition. The performances was good. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she did a decent job. Benedict Wong was actually funny with his role. His character really gave like that nuance, but yet he still gave the comedic delivery in his performance. And Will Smith was decent in his performance. He didn't really give out a bad performance at all. It's just primarily had to deal with the script entirely, and the action sequences revolving around this breaking newfound technology that they were advertising, saying that they were going to break new ground with this type of technology. And I thought they were using a de-aging effect, but they weren't using a de-aging effect. They was actually using a motion capture for most of the action sequences. And I thought that was fine, but then as I was watching the action sequences, then something came up. The action sequences looked unrealistic as hell. Like Will Smith and his doppelganger, his clone, was fighting with one another, and the fights looked unrealistic. Like I thought I was watching DBZ or watching some kind of burst mode Naruto. And the weird thing about it, like the CGI Will Smith, every time there was an action sequence, like his head, it seemed like his head would get bigger. Like his head would get bigger, as if you was looking at a blowfish. And it seemed like I was watching a cartoon. And it almost reminded me of Ang Lee's version of the Hulk. And that CGI for the Hulk, I believe, didn't really look good. And pretty much Hulk looked like a CGI Barney. And when these two characters fight each other throughout the movie, it's almost equivalent of me watching CGI Barneys on screen. There's this weird thing that the CGI Will Smith was doing with his motorcycle. It seemed like he was kickboxing with a motorcycle, and it just didn't look. It didn't look good. It looked cringy. It was so cringy as hell. But don't get me wrong, there were a few shots where I thought they looked pretty good, like during the nighttime, like the CGI for Will Smith didn't look as noticeable because most of the screens and the shots took place at night, so the CGI wasn't as noticeable. But when the CGI Will Smith started to use his movements during the action sequences and start just walking regularly in some scenes, that's where the CGI looked really noticeable. And I just laughed my ass off because Will Smith looked almost equivalent to a cartoon character. So like I said before, the performances was decent. Mary Elizabeth Winstead was pretty much giving the audience exposition in this whole entire movie. And the exposition is over the top. I felt like I was a 5th grader in class. They were pretty much explaining the audience about Will Smith's clone. Is you. He's identical. He's identical. I ran the tests and it came out positive. 100% positive that he is you. He is identical to you, your clone. He is you. He is you, your clone. I understand that. I want you to explain it deeper for further confirmation. And this movie was forgettable in my eyes. It had a weak plot, a cliche plot you've seen from every other movie. Also, the film never explained why Will Smith and his doppelganger were fighting unrealistically, but when the other characters fight, their fights seem realistic. And I'm just trying to figure out, is there a specific skill set that Will Smith's character has? Is there does he have a special power or a special ability that allows him to fight unrealistically, as if I was watching Dragon Ball Z on screen? The movie never explained that. He's just a regular hitman. So why is he fighting unrealistically? with CGI. It's beyond me, but that really took me out of the movie, and the exposition definitely took me out of the movie. But outside of that, the performances were fine. If you're a Will Smith fan, you can go check it out. I'm gonna give this movie a voucher for Batman. This is a forgettable movie. Maybe you can consider it a guilty pleasure. But when it comes to Will Smith's movies, you gotta flip a coin and hopefully it lands on heads, and hopefully it gives you a good movie in the process. But have you seen Gemini Man? What are your thoughts of Gemini Man? What are your thoughts? Comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And I'm sorry if I'm a little sick. I'm doing the best I can. Hopefully I'll be better next video, and I'll see you guys later. So if you like everything you see and you agree, subscribe to my channel and join me in the Batman family. I'll have more Batman-tastic reviews on the way. You have been warned. Till then, ciao.
Holy mackerel.